So we'll see in detail where this tools are present and how do you integrate it. Okay, we'll see that in detail. And yeah, let's get to hands-on, right? So I told we'll try to install and configure Jenkins in this session. We'll try to quickly do that. Okay. So to do that, if any of you also want to try that, you can just follow the steps that I'm following. Okay. So first, let's have a server up and running. Okay. So for example, I'll actually go ahead and launch an instance. Okay. Create a machine where we'll install Jenkins. Okay. So first thing is we can choose our environment. This we have done it in the earlier session, in AWS session. How do you create a EC2 instance? Okay. So we'll try to do that quickly. So let me choose the famous one, okay, Ubuntu server. Okay. And I'll quickly select the default configuration. Okay. I'll put it into our network. This and all you guys might be aware because we have done this in the earlier session. Okay. So I'm just enabling public IP. Okay. And yeah, this will keep it as default. Okay. Storage, I'll add some 10 GB of storage. Okay. Then tags, security groups. Okay. So security groups is where how the firewall thing, right? How we enable the firewall. So here, if you see, I will add the basic. So this security groups we had created earlier. I will also discuss it with you. So I created a security group for Jenkins, okay, which allows port 8080. Okay, Jenkins actually runs on port 8080, so I'm allowing that. And this, if you see the basic one is allowing HTTP port 80, SSH port 422, and HTTPS port 443. Okay. So these are the basic three. Any server you spin up, you need these three ports to be open. So I'm selecting that, and also I'm selecting one Jenkins security group, which allows port 8080. Okay. Then yeah, that should be it. Okay, we'll quickly launch it. Okay. Keep there. We have this. So this should be done in 1 or 2 minutes. Okay. So in the meantime, let me show you how to basically install Jenkins. Right. If you go on Google, there is a official documentation, right? Jenkins. So if you just type on Google for install Jenkins, the first page that you see, okay, so Jenkins.io is actually the official website for Jenkins. So as soon as you go here, on the left-hand side, you see a lot of options to install. Okay, so you can install it on Docker, Kubernetes, Linux, Mac. Okay, using WAR file, like we said, right? This is a Java application, so you can actually take this WAR file and do. You can download the WAR file and just do a Java jar Jenkins.war. Okay, and then the application will be running on port 8080. Okay, so this also you could do if somebody is Java expert, right? And you have an option to run on Windows or other. There are multiple other things. Okay, in the meantime, we can also run using Docker. Okay, so initially you would have seen we ran our own images, right? So similarly, we can also run Jenkins using Docker. Okay, but why we are not doing it here is we want to have one build server. So that's the purpose. I am not installing using Docker. We are installing it on one of the EC2 machines. Okay, but I can show you how it is done on Docker also. Okay, let's go to Docker Hub. Okay, and let's quickly have that also done. So if you go to Docker Hub, hub.docker.com, okay, and you search for Jenkins. Okay, just search for Jenkins. You would see official image of Jenkins. So actually, you see multiple images. So search for Jenkins. Okay, you see a lot of custom. So each person would have written so we can also write our own Jenkins image and push it here. Okay, our own application Jenkins image. So normally we take the official. This is actually pushed by the official the Jenkins development team, right? So you go here. So you also get an option to view like how you download it and which ports it is running on also you will be able to see, right? So like I said, it's running on port 8080, okay, and 50,000 is for the agent port. Okay, you need not, and you can specify the volumes and everything. We can quickly try it out. Like, this shouldn't take much time. So this also is actually a good exercise. Like instead of having a dedicated server, you can also run Jenkins as a container using Docker. Okay. Run it. So you have Docker for desktop that is running. Okay. My screen is so Docker maybe this will show what are the images that I have currently in my Docker server, right? I do not have Jenkins. So like you said, right? Like we saw here, you go to the you will not do it. This is actually doing it like on a proper passing all the parameters. So for now, we'll just try to run it. Okay, so I'll not follow this. I'll just run it as straightforward this one, right? So I'll take the latest image. Just a minute. So I can actually do this one. Okay. So if I run this command docker run container run or docker run -p, so this is my local laptop port 8080 to the container port 8080, and also 50,000 is for the agent, I guess. So and 50,000 on my local also, and this is the image name. Okay. So now it is not present here, so it will try to download. It will not find this image locally, so it will try to download it from the Docker hub. Yeah, we see that here. Unable to find image Jenkins latest locally, so it will try to download the image. And, so this is for the first time it will try to download it, and then try to run it on this port. Okay, and we'll quickly check localhost 8080. We should have that server, Jenkins server running. Latest not found. Okay, let's check some particular. It is there, right? If any doubts, you just put it in the chat here so we can discuss. Okay, let's take some specific version there. Or I can take Alpine. This would be a smaller version of it. So this is the tag that I'm specifying. We are installing. Yes. I'm just showing you how to install Jenkins using Docker as well. But end result, we'll try to install this Jenkins onto a build server. Okay, so I just spin up a server on AWS. So we'll try to keep that as a build server. Okay, this is just for extra. Like we also have this Jenkins to be like we can install it also using Docker. So we are trying to check that. Okay. I think this problem with the CMD or this problem with the terminal. Let me try with some other terminal. Okay, let me come back to this, right? I'm not sure why we are not able to. Okay, let me try to pull at least. Pull. I'm not sure. Okay, just give me a minute. Let me see which image are these running. Okay, I think sorry. I think we have to give it as Jenkins. Jenkins. It's in the subdirectory, I think. Okay, it's working. Okay, so I think it was actually in the subdirectory, right? Jenkins actually worked. There's something to note. Fine. So what? So let it download, right? Let it download and run. In the meantime, if we go back to our AWS instance, let's see if that is successfully created. Okay, so this is the one that we created. 204. I'll just name it as this one. So this is our server that we created just now. Okay, and we'll see the details of this. All we need is actually the IP. Okay, so the public DNS, so public IPv4 DNS. So this one, you can actually, so we actually created a key pair, right? We downloaded using the key pair. So if we go back to, so I have the key pair stored here. Yeah, so I have this ubuntu.pem. So this is the key pair. Okay, so either we can run it through putty. For putty, to run it through putty, we have to change this PEM file to .ppk file and then run it. Okay, so instead of that, I'm just trying to run it directly. Okay, let me open PowerShell or something here. So I just have to specify this PEM file. Okay, that's it. Okay, so SSH hyphen, I'm trying to do an SSH, right? SSH hyphen I, ubuntu.pm, then you give the username. Username is ubuntu @ the URL or the DNS name that we copied. Okay, so it is telling, are you sure you want to continue connecting? Yes. Okay, so ubuntu are two open. Okay, I think. Okay, 1 second. So if you actually go to connect here, it will also show. Okay. Yeah, see here. Open an SSH client, chmod. Okay, I just need to change the permission to this one. Then connect using, this is the command that we used, right? SSH hyphen I ubuntu.pem, ubuntu @ this one. Okay. So let me change that. Chmod 400 ubuntu.pm. Okay. And now it will connect. The required. Let me try it from here. Okay, so I got connected. Is the font very small for you guys? Okay. Okay. So now what I did is I just connected to the server. Okay. Okay. So now I am actually connected to that AWS server that we provisioned. So here, if you see, this is the server that we just now provisioned, right? So this is a public IP. This is a public DNS. Okay. So this server we connected, and what we are trying to do is we are trying to install Jenkins on this. So if you go to this official documentation here, so like I said, you just have to type install Jenkins. You go to this jenkins.io website. So in our case, it is an Ubuntu that comes under Linux operating system. Okay. So Linux, there are two types, right? There is a Debian, or there is another one, the Fedora version. Okay. So in Ubuntu falls under Debian. You have to select the right operating system. Okay. Then these are the 4 commands that needs to be run. Okay. To run the long-term LTS version. So this is the long-term support version. So all we have to do is just run this command. Okay. So I'll go inside this. I'll paste this. So it is pretty straightforward. Just once you have any server, so you just have to run this command. So actually it gets installed with sudo apt-get install Jenkins, but you have to set the repo and everything. The repository and all you have to set it. So now it is actually getting installed. It's asking for the permission. So it should take 1 or 2 minutes. No Java. Oh, sorry. Like I said, right? It requires Java to be installed prior to this. Okay, so it directly says no Java executable found. Okay. Okay. So we'll install Java again and try to run this again. Okay. So let's see, if you see Java hyphen version, I think there is no Java found. Okay. So to install Java also. There is a prerequisite column. Okay, inside prerequisite you see just a second. Install Java 11. There is just one command that we need to run to install Java. Okay. Java 8, Java 11. Yeah, this is the command. Okay. So yum apt get install Okay. Just have to set the repository. Okay, now Java is getting installed. Okay, so once Java is installed, we'll have to install Jenkins. Okay, so let me go back to the other one where we ran the Jenkins right here. Okay, so now if you see here, this is a Docker command that we ran. So we are parallelly also trying to run Jenkins using Docker. Okay, so I ran this command docker run -p 8080:8080, and then we gave this Jenkins. So it would have now, if you see, it printed some logs. It gave us this file, this text. Okay, so now if I go to my browser, okay, if I go to my browser, if I type localhost :8080, 8080 is where Jenkins would actually be running. Okay. Yeah, you see, this is coming from the Docker container. Okay, so this container that we ran. Very good. This okay, this container that we ran. Okay, so here it says, so it actually, if you see, it is asking for unlock Jenkins to ensure Jenkins securely set up administrator. So we have to first set up some admin user, right? So it is asking us to give the password. Okay, so password will be present in this particular location. Okay, so when you're running it through container, it is actually printing that text here. If you see, Jenkins initial setup is required, an admin user has been created. Okay, please use the following password to proceed with installation. So all we have to do is copy this password. Okay, paste it here. So you see, this is the Jenkins page, right? That I'm just trying to show you. So as soon as you enter this one, you will be entered into the first admin username and password. So I'm putting everything as admin. Okay. So this anyways we are not going to use. I'm just trying to show you. Start using Jenkins. So in container it was this straightforward. Okay. So you have this Jenkins running in your local machine. If somebody wants to do some testing on top of it, all you have